everyone, DJ Ravine here from Point Blank Music School. Today I've got a special guest today. This is Rob from AKAI.
Hi there, how's it going?
Yeah, good man. What have you got here today?
So this is the MPC 1. This is the newest addition to the MPC family. Obviously you've got the Live and you've got the X and you've got the Force, which is more of the cousin, but the great thing is it takes a lot of bits from different areas. So with the MPC Live, which we said, it's got the battery, and obviously the X is much larger and there's the CV ports, but you do get some of those features on here.
It's like the best of both.
Yeah, it takes some of the greater bits, and obviously, as we said, it's a different price point, so there's different things in there for that price point.
So what really sets this apart from the other device? Like, what's it taken from each device?
So if we break it down into different bits and look at the hardware, obviously the pads, the first thing we look at is these are the same pads you'll have on the other devices, but they're smaller to fit the form factor of the hardware.
Yeah, I had a feel of them before and it does feel pretty much the same.
Yeah, exactly. Same response.
Same MPC pads.
Exactly, just a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
The other thing is the screen. Obviously you've got the 7-inch multi-touch, multi-gesture display here, which is the same on the MPC Live. So that's been taken from there. On the back, you've got your 8 CV gate outputs, or CV gate ports. And that is what you'll get from the X, which you don't have on the Live. So you can see there's different pockets for different customers. So if I'm a modular head where I want to be making all my stuff external, I need a brain, this is a good way to go for it. There's obviously your 5-pin MIDI on here as well, which means you can connect it to external MIDI controls. And you've obviously got your USB on the back for storage, SD on the front for storage, and then you've got a link on the back, so Ethernet link.
All right, well, what we're going to be doing today is building a track on the MPC one.
That's it.
I'm a complete MPC beginner.
Yep.
I've used one, but I've never owned one. Never really had the chance to make a track on my own. Let's do this from my perspective.
Yeah, I think that's the best way of doing it. I think you should take the helm. You should be in control of this. There's tons of sounds in there. If you're not comfortable, I'm here. I'm going to help you out.
All right, cool.
So we've talked about the way this works and what the different sequences are, programs, that sort of stuff. But the first thing is browsing your sounds. You want to find the right drums.
Sure.
So if we go to here, you can see on the hardware, there's tons of quick command buttons. It means you can access everything really quickly. So you've got a shift, and that means you've got double control for bits. But to access your browser, really simple. So you can see, if I jump to expansions, you've got all of this stuff, which I've got from our expansion exchange. But let's look at the stuff which just comes on install.
Cool.
So you've got your MPC directory here you can search through, but you've obviously got your MPC1 factory content, which gives you tons and tons of drums and bass sounds and all sorts of stuff which you can use straight away. Also, there is the F9 expansion. So these guys have done a huge amount of work on key groups. So you've got really detailed sampled elements which you can bring in, which actually brings the unit to life because it gives you a secondary bank of sounds to use.
Cool.
That is free on the website, but you have to install it once you've bought it and you've obviously installed the 2.0 software.
Cool.
So you can have a little scroll through here. Let's have a look at the content and use the encoder here to look through, and you can audition them as well. Jump to here, you've got all your kits which are pre-made. So there's lots of variation in there. So if we jump back into here, we've got a preloaded kit. So this is a Bryson kit. So if you want to try the pads out, next thing we want to do is set the BPM. So maybe you're looking at about 140, go for kind of a trap sound.
Yeah, sure, let's go for that.
So once you've set up your sequence, which we're going to do a brand new one at 140, you can start figuring out an idea and how you want to go with it. So let's put a metronome on. So using the Q link or just touching the display, you can say, right, let's turn that on. So you want to do 4 bars.
Right.
Easy again, just touch the display, turn it up to 4, press record or overdub.
Yep.
And then press play, and that'll count you in from the start.
Is this quantized?
It is, yeah. So this little button here, TC, means time correction. And you can see here all of the different divisions. You've got the strength and the swing, which obviously MPC is known for its swing control. So that was real-time quantized. So that's all, or should be all in perfect timing. To check that, you can press this little icon here, which brings the grid. So this is basically your piano roll. So you get that like on any other DAW. You can see every hit, you can grab them individually, cut, copy, paste, all that sort of stuff. So if you scroll through, just check that that's good for you. It sounded pretty good.
Yeah. Oh.
See there, if it's been a slight delay, if it was between, it will bring it onto the closer.
Sure.
And if it's not quite right, what you can do is just grab one of them and then you can move it forward or back. There we go.
Perfect.
Perfect. So what do you want to do now?
I did that on purpose, so we can just show
of
that
course,
off.
yeah. So what we want to do now is maybe add some hi-hats.
Yep.
And there's two things. You can obviously play in real time, or you can hold note repeat.
Sweet.
What would you want to do?
Let's use a note repeat and do it on 16ths.
Fine. Okay, let's go open up the grid. Press Shift and note repeat means it's locked. Perfect. And then you can actually jump between different divisions.
Ah, sick.
So when you're ready, same again, just press play.
Cool.
See how easy it is?
So easy.
That's the idea, is that it's tactile, it's hands-on, it's less like looking at the computer, it's like completely hands-on, get the ideas out.
I love that, especially if you were to do something like this live.
And that's the cool thing, is that you can take it down that route. Like, I know we're talking about production today, but it could easily be used for performance. Like,
It's small.
It is, yeah, it's so small. You just take that, take it on stage, so you can do a lot of stuff with it in real time. So we've got drums down, we've got hi-hats. What do you normally add next? Maybe some bass lines, something like that? Okay, so let's move to track 2. And this time we're going to look at the key groups. And we've got a F9 808 in here, and you can hear that's pretty beefy on there. But what we can do, because we've only got 16 pads, is use the scale mode. So it means you can actually set the scale and have the pads already in the right note or in the right scale. So by pressing Shift, you can go into your notes mode. So you can see here I've got chromatic scales, notes, chords, chromatics, and progressions. Progressions are pretty good because you can actually create your own progressions. Say I'm performing on stage and I'm only using the pads, and export them from the software onto an SD card, and you can access them on here. But today we're just going to use notes.
Sure.
So we've got a scale here. Let's go with G major. Have a play with the pads, see what they sound like.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Sweet.
So we'll do the same. When you're ready, press overdub and then play and start.
You know, what I would normally do here is I would actually just copy what I did for the kick and then just go and paste it.
Fine. Yeah, let's take this one further. That's a good way of doing it. So what we'll do is go back to main, and we'll go to our drum track here. We'll go to the grid. This is actually a good way of showing off how versatile and easy it is to control the MIDI. So if we use the zoom tool, what we'll do is press the kick, and then we'll make sure we select all of them on the kick. Let's undo that.
So that's the undo button. That's a
very important button.
Okay.
Obviously Shift and redo, so you can go back and forth. Cool. You'll probably use this the most out of everything on here. And then if you press Shift, you can see I've got this copy mode. So let's copy from here, go to menu, go into our second track, which is our 808, and then we'll just press Shift and make sure we're at the start of the bar by just touching up there, and then paste. And you can see the kicks are down there.
Cool.
So what we want to do is select all of them by just pressing on the note, and you can tell they're selected because they've got the white outer, and you just press transpose. So let's bring this up to something a little bit more musical, like G.
Yeah.
And we press play.
Oh, that's too low.
It's too low, so we go up again. So you can see they're pretty meaty samples. So now you can say, right, let's play with the end and make it more drawn out. Or what we can do is go to time correction and make it legato. There we go. So everything is all tied up. And now you can go in and choose your notes or transpose them to what you would like it to sound.
Perfect. So I'd probably put like the last one up one octave.
What you do, just use the marquee.
Okay, so which one?
So this is selected there, so you can pen marquee and you choose which one you like.
Okay,
and then you just make sure you hit transpose.
And then I can just go up.
That's it.
To G2. Perfect.
Yeah, that's hard. That works.
Easy.
Natural. So we've got the sounds in there. That's obviously using the sampler. Next thing you want to add is some sort of lead. We can use the built-in plugins for this. As we said earlier, you get 3 built-in synthesizers.
Cool.
So you've got electric, you've got bassline, and you've got hybrid. All have got their own characteristics of different synths, but they're all extremely powerful, and you have lots of presets in there. So you haven't got to do a lot of sound design, but the option is there if you want to. So if we jump to track 3 and grab a plugin, we've got one of the Tube Synth plugins set up here. And what we can do is press menu and then go to program edit. So you've got a full display you can actually use for sound design. So if we jump back into our notes mode, you can actually start playing them all in scale. Just turn it down to minor.
Cool.
So if you want to try that. So we've got 3 elements in there, and that's obviously just taken us maybe, what, 4 or 5 minutes to go through it. Obviously we're explaining it as we go, but it's so quick. So once you get your head around the workflow, which isn't that difficult, you're going to be starting write beats and productions much quicker, because you're just thinking about the hands-on, not what folders it in, what do I have to set up inside of your project. You just go.
Right, so now that we've got the basic beat here,
Yep.
I want to put some effects on it and process it a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So one of the things that I always do is sidechain the 808 for lead.
Yep, okay.
So I've heard we can do all that in the box.
You can, exactly. There's tons of different processing elements here, from reverb, delays, distortion, and obviously sidechain.
Cool.
So for the 808, what we'll do, we'll go to our MIDI again, and we'll look at the kit, or in fact, let's just look at the 808. So we scroll down to the section here, which is on our, let's go for the drop, go to track 2, which is 808. Bear in mind, you can rename all these channels. We're just doing it nice and quick today. And we'll go to the icon up here to see the in-session sort of mix down or processing area. You can see we've already got an effect on there, which is our channel strip.
Yes.
And you can see if I press insert, you've got 4 slots. So we've already got our channel strip on here, and if you press the pen tool, you've got the same layout, or the extent of the layout you've got with your plugins, because obviously with the plugins you've got a full touch layout with all the parameters, same idea. So you're actually getting that full DAW experience.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is, that's our source. 808 is the source. We're going to drop our second effect, just go to Dynamics, and we're going to go for our Mother Ducker. That is the name of our sidechain.
Awesome.
Yes. And we'll make that the input. So obviously that's going to go into it, and that's going to be on a bus. You can see that's bus 1. And what we do is go to the instrument, which we're going to do.
He's wearing a little hat.
He's got a little hat. You wait and see when it's all set up.
Okay.
So we're on the synth now, so let's just solo that to make sure we're the right one. And we go on to inserts, and we just put the Mother Ducker by itself.
Right, so you had the input one on the
It's basically
808,
you just have to send the element to the actual...
Sure, so that's like send and return.
Yeah, exactly that, exactly. So now you can see we've got this layout where you control the actual parameters, so the threshold, the gain. And what we can use with the Q links is that you can see this little Q box. By pressing that, that is showing you what's mapped. So I can just jump through.
Sure, to the encoders.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if we say bring the threshold down and then press play.
Probably too much.
Just a bit. You can tailor it off if you want to do it.
Wait, it's not.
And then if you want to jump across to the gain, just press that. You can just press that to turn auto off, and that'll be all yours there. See? So it's really easy to control.
Cool.
Really, really simple. And that's, again, with all of the different layouts on there, it just makes it easy for the user to have that tactile hands-on experience, which we've known with MPC for a long time. But it just, I mean, for me, it helps get ideas down quicker.
I really like the whole Q-Link thing. You can kind of just really bounce quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you also like touch it? Oh,
yeah,
well,
exactly. So you touch the control. Yeah. Really, really, really intuitive.
Yeah, it is. It is really. I have kind of noticed that whenever I have used one of the MPC devices, is that it's quite user friendly. You can really kind of pick it up and just kind of go for it.
I think that's really important with something which is standalone, because if it's overcomplicated, like there is some other standalone products out there, I'm not going to name and shame, but they're very complex to understand. What I've found with MPC stuff is that because I think there's a big display, it does make things quite easy to get into and see what you're doing.
All right, well, I hope everyone enjoyed my little banger that we just made in a couple of minutes here. Yeah, it's going to be the next big thing.
It is,
so if you guys want to spit some bars over it, hit me up, djravine@gmail.com, and I might sell you licensing to it.
Such a nice guy.
I'll give you songwriting credits.
Okay, cool, fine. I'm happy with that.
Cool. And this just announced at NAMM 2020, right?
It is, yeah, exactly. So it's going to be, well, it has been announced at NAMM, but it will be shipping very soon. So keep an eye out at your local retailer.
And very affordable.
Extremely affordable.
All right, hope you all enjoyed that video. Thank you, Rob from AKAI again.
No worries, it's a pleasure.
Thanks for helping me make that banger. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
See you. Wait, that is fire.